Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
To start our practice, we are going to start in a seated position. So find your way down onto your chair. Take a moment to just kind of cozy yourself on back. Let your feet feel connected to the ground. Let your back feel connected to the back of your seat. And then if it feels comfortable, close your eyes, or maybe you just soften your gaze and focus on a single point just to kind of reduce incoming sensation. And then once you've got all that figured out, just take a moment to take a couple nice deep breaths. And then just for a moment in this stillness, just take in all the sounds around you. So let the sounds of the room that you're working in, the house that you're working in, maybe the sounds outside of the spaces that you're working in. If you've got music on, the sound of the music, the sound of my voice, all those things, let them come in to meet your ears. So no need to particularly pinpoint any particular sound or give it a name, but just let those sounds come in to meet your ears and just take a moment to breathe into all those sounds. And then see if within all the sounds around you, can you find and hear the sound of your breathing, which may be very subtle. So it may not be an actual sound that you can hear, but just kind of tune in and sense the sound of your hearing. And then especially if you're still leaned back into your chair a little bit and you can feel the back of your body connected to your chair, take another breath and listen to the sound of your breath. Feel the physical sensation of your breath. So maybe really leaning into the back of the chair, notice that slight bit of compression as you breathe in and out. Sticking with our attention to our breath for about 3 more cycles of breath. But now as you breathe in, you're going to still keep your back connected to the back of the chair, eyes closed, or just reduce the incoming information from your eyes. Breathe into your rib cage like it's an umbrella. So as you inhale, the umbrella opens and expands. And then as you exhale, the umbrella draws in towards itself. Take one more breath. And then before we move away from this place of gentle stillness, take a moment to set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, Gently open your eyes, start to lift your back away from your seat. We're going to scooch our butt forward just enough so that we feel like our back is just kind of supporting itself. Feet are nice and solid on the ground. Hands are going to slide forward. We're going to move right into a cat and cow from here. Inhale as you lift your heart, lift your chin. Exhale as you round your back. And then how far you go with this movement, go where it feels the most fluid. So as you move gently through the spine, arching the back and rounding the back, how does your back feel? How do the muscles feel? Are there any little jaggedy places? Is there any places where it feels a little sticky? See if you can just kind of allow the body to move gently and fluidly. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then on your next inhale, we're going to find a nice, tall, gentle, neutral spine. So it doesn't need to be extreme, but just sit up fairly tall. Let one hand touch the side of the chair, lift up and over, just go right to the edge of that side bend. And then we're going to release and take it over to the other side. So hand's going to find a handhold, lift up and over, and then we're going to move gently, but dynamically. So we're going to fluidly go from side to side. You don't even have to go to the edge of your side bend. What we want to do is just wake the spine up, allow it to move in this direction, and then the other way. And then kind of notice, how does your side body feel? How does your arm and your shoulder feel? The next time your left hand touches down and your right hand reaches up, stay there for just 1 extra cycle of breath. Once you've completed that cycle of breath, lift up and over, take it over to the other side, lean into that side bend just enough so you feel a little stress or sensation in the side of the body. Take 1 cycle of breath. And then once you've completed that cycle of breath, lift up, and we're going to take it right into some light dynamic seated twists. So you're just going to twist from one side to the other, just barely touching the side of your knee or your thigh, just allowing that sort of fluid motion here. The next time your right hand finds your left knee, hang out there, go just maybe a little bit more leveraged into that twist, turning your head, look over your back shoulder, and then just take a moment here to notice, how does your head and neck feel? We're going to keep that slight twisted position, but release just enough so like your heart is pointing towards your knee, and then take a couple of gentle nods of the head up and down. One more nod of the head up and down, and then we're going to release, take that twist over to the other side. So a slight bit of leverage. So you go just slightly deeper into it. Notice how your body feels. Release that leverage, but keep that twisted position. So maybe heart pointing towards the knee. And then once you found that softer position, a couple of nods of the head up and down. Beautiful. One more nod of the head up and down. And then we're going to come back to center, but walk your butt back. So we're going to walk our butt back so that we feel that our back, our butt, and we just want to feel the back of the chair. So it doesn't need to support us, but we want to use it as sort of a touch point to feel. And now we're going to do this little hand slide. So you're going to slide your hands down your knees. You're going to gently roll down just as far as feels good into a little bit of a folded position. And then as you peel back up, you're going to work up the vertebrae of the spine. So you're going to think tailbone, roll up the low back, up the middle back, lift your heart as you hit the edge. So we want to feel like almost as if you're trying to do a back bend over the back of the chair. So lift your heart, lift your gaze, and then right at the edge of that release, tuck your chin down, roll through your spine, slide your hands down the knees, go into a folded position only as far as feels good, and then peel your way back up. So think low back, middle back, upper back, lift your heart, lift your chin like you're taking that gentle back bend, but the chair is not really supporting the back bend. It's just that touch point to feel. And then when you're ready, release, tuck your chin down, roll through your spine like you're peeling your back away from the back of the chair, slide all the way down to that folded position. And then right at the edge of that fold, bring yourself back up, low back, middle back, upper back, heart lifts, lift into that gentle back bend. At the edge of that gentle back bend, release, roll down through the spine, slide your hands forward, down as far as feels good. And then right as you hit the edge of it, peel your way back up. We're going to go through one more time. Lift the heart, lift your chin, roll your way down. And this time, as we come up into that gentle back bend sensation, we're going to release the gentle back bend sensation and look over the back of your chair. So you're going to lift your heart, look over like you're trying to look down to the bottom leg of your chair, or use your imagination to imagine what's behind you. Look down, turn your head, look as far as you can, release, and we're going to take it over to the other side. So you're going to lift the heart, draw the shoulder back, look over your back shoulder. Release, come through center, switch over to the other side. So heart lifts, lift, and look up and over. And then release, do it to the other side. Heart lifts, shoulder rotates, look over the shoulder. Come through center, do it one more time each side, just finding a depth of work here that makes the most sense to you. Awesome. And then as you come back to center, walk your butt forward again. So we're going to move ourselves so that our butt is nice and solid on the chair, feet are nice and solid on the ground. Once you found your way there, press firm down into your feet, let your hands come down at your sides, and think nice active mountain pose. So we're gently pressing the feet into the earth, reaching your head up into the sky. Take a moment here just to notice your breath in this nice, strong, active mountain pose. Nice. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Lift your heart, dive forward, think hip hinge. Take a moment here in this folded position. So let your belly and your chest be slightly compressed against your thighs. Take a nice big breath in. Feel the breath in the backside of your body. We're going to walk up nice and slow. So walk up your shins, and then so we're going to keep this slightly forward position. Elbows are going to find the knees, and then we're going to just lift and lower the heels. So you're going to keep your body weight slightly forward, lift and lower the heels at the same nice even pace. So rather than lifting up and then letting them flop down, lift them up, lower them down, nice, slow, controlled movement. And then take a moment to just look down at the space between your feet and your ankles. Notice, does one want to lead the charge? There's no right or wrong. We just want to notice. Does any of your ankles or your feet feel like they get a little wiggly, like they want to kind of scooch out or scooch in as you lift up and down? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. Take one more little pump up and down. And then the next time your heels touch down, draw your abdominal muscles in, round through the back, roll your way up to a nice upright seated position, and then find your mountain pose again. I'm going to pivot my chair. We're going to move into our sun salutation flow, but you can move your chair or rearrange yourself in a way that makes the most sense to you. We are going to go up and down into our standing position, but you can take everything seated if that feels like a better way to go. Find your mountain pose, nice and active, press down into the feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold. Inhale, half forward fold, hands slide up to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften down. Left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches up to the sky. Release that right hand down. We're going to slide up the shin, bring your knee up to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Release it nice and slow. And now we're going to pivot. So we're going to turn to the right. Hands are going to find the chair. Pivot yourself around and find a standing tabletop position. So hands on the chair. Once you found that standing tabletop position, 3 little cat cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. I like to bend my knees with that move, but you do what feels good. Exhale, round your back. And I like to straighten my legs for that one. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. One more time. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale to round your back. And then we're going to find a nice neutral tabletop position. We're going to slide the right leg back. The toe is going to stay on the ground just for a moment. Square up your hips. And then we're going to do a little toe taps here, but we're going to try to keep our hip points fairly level. So the hips aren't going to move too much. We're just going to lift the leg up, touch the toe down, take a couple of little taps here. Mostly here, what we want to do is check in and notice your standing leg balance. How are you feeling this morning? And then if all of that is feeling good, the next time the toe lifts, you're going to leave it lifted and you're going to do those little airplane. So you're going to lift your back pocket up, or like you're trying to shine your front pocket out to the side. So we want to move through the hips. Standing leg stays pretty still. Arms are just helping support the balance. Wonderful. One more little hip airplane here, and then slowly, gently, mindfully float that foot down to the ground. We're going to walk back to a downward facing dog. So start to walk yourself back. But then once you found your downward facing dog shape, we're going to bend the knees a lot. So we're going to think about keeping our down dog just for this time in the upper body a little bit more than the back side of the body. So bend your knees, let your chest melt down just as far as it can. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Slowly, gently, mindfully lift yourself up, walk yourself back towards your chair. And then we're going to pivot around, come back down into a seated position. Take your time. And then once you've found your seated position, come back to that nice active mountain pose. Press down into the feet, reach down through the fingertips, lift up through the crown of your head. Awesome. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right hand over to the left shin. Left hand reaches for a twist. Release that hand down. We're going to slide up the shin. Bring the knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. When you're ready, release. And then we're going to pivot around. So we're going to spin around. Hands are going to find the chair. Find your standing tabletop position. Take your time. One cat-cow here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back. Find your neutral spine, tabletop supports, slide your left leg back, toe on the ground, notice your balance, and then we're going to do those light little toe taps. So we're just going to lift and lower. Keep your hips fairly stable. Keep your back nice and sturdy. Awesome. Now the next time that toe lifts, keep it in that lifted position and do those hip airplanes like you're trying to pick up your left back pocket or shine your left front pocket to the wall beside you. Nice. One more little hip airplane here. And then when you're ready, release your foot down. We're going to walk back to that downward facing dog shape. So walk yourself back. And then once you're back, bend your knees, let your chest drop down, soften your head between your arms, take a breath. From here, press down into your feet, straighten your legs just as much as you can. Take that little bit of a stretching sensation into the backs of your legs. And then when you're ready, soften, look forward, walk yourself back towards your chair, pivot yourself around, find your seated position, take your time as you come through. And then once you're back to that seated position, just take a moment, notice your breath, notice your body. Awesome. And then find your mountain pose again. Press down into the feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches for a twist. Release that right hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Release that knee, and then we pivot around, finding your standing tabletop position. One cat-cow here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back, and then find your neutral spine. Slide your right leg back, toe on the ground. Take a couple light little toe taps here. Check in with your balance. The next time the toe lifts up, leave it there. Do your hip airplanes. Take a couple of little rotations, lifting that back pocket up, releasing it back down. Nice. And now we're going to add on from here. So we're going to pick up. So right leg is lifted, right hand is going to lift, and we're going to start to draw little circles. So think circle your elbow, circle your knee. You're going to let your hips move. Your standing leg is going to keep a slightly bent knee position, so everything feels soft and supported. Wonderful. One more little circle around, and then we're going to take that circle and open it up into a half moon. So you're going to push your right foot back. You're going to rotate your hip out to the side. Right hand is going to reach up nice and high, nice and strong. Reach energy out through your fingertips, out through your heel, into your arm that's supported on the chair, down into the leg that's pressing into the ground, and then reach it out through the crown of your head. Take one more breath. And then slowly, gently, mindfully release. Hands are going to find the chair, foot finds the ground. Walk back to your downward facing dog, legs as straight as they can be, arms as long as they can be. Let your head drop down between your arms. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to shift forward into a planking position. So you're going to bring your heart forward. You'll readjust your legs as needed. Take a moment to find your strength here. Take a breath. And now we're going to lift up into a cobra or a little baby cobra. So you're going to go with pulling the heart forward, lifting up through the crown of your head. Be mindful of your shoulders. Make sure you have the strength here to hold. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, softly release. Walk your feet forward, find your tabletop position. And then we're going to pivot around. Come back to that seated position. Take your time as you sit your butt down. Once you've found your seated position, come back to your mountain pose. Press firm down into your feet. Reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right hand finds the left shin. Left hand reaches for a twist. Release that hand down. Slide up the shin. Bring your knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Release nice and slow, and we're going to pivot around, finding our tabletop position at our chair. Once you found your tabletop position, one cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Neutral spine, we're going to slide the left leg back, do a couple of toe taps just to find your balance. Awesome. Now the next time that leg lifts, hold it there. Do your little hip airplanes, rotating from your hip. Nice. And now we're going to take it into some circles. So we're going to draw some circles. Knee and elbow are going to circle. You're going to let your standing leg move with you. You're going to let your hips move with you. Let your shoulder move with you. And then once you found a couple of good rotations and things feel solid, open up into your half moon if that feels good. Press that left leg out. Lift the left arm up. Press deep into your standing leg, reaching all the energy out to 4 different directions. So up to the sky, out through your heel, out into the ground, out through the crown of your head. And then when you feel ready, slowly, gently, mindfully release. Hands are going to find the chair. Walk it back to your downward facing dog. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it forward into your planking position or a reasonable variation of your planking position just to find and feel that strength in your body. And then when you're ready, if it feels good, pull it forward into a cobra, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Release nice and slow, find your way back to your tabletop position. From your tabletop position, slowly and mindfully pivot back around, find your seated position, and then just take a moment in that seat to come back to your breath. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Both hands are going to find the back edge of the chair, maybe low side, maybe the arms of the chair, totally up to you. Just reach your hands back a little squeeze between the shoulder blades, lift your heart, lift your gaze, take a nice heart opening, gentle back bend here. Take 3 nice deep breaths. When you're ready, slowly release that back bend. We're going to toe heel the feet out to a nice wide configuration. So toe heel them out just as wide as feels good to you. Hands are going to find the insides of the knees, a little hip hinge. Lean your heart forward just a little bit, and then come back up nice and slow. A little hip hinge, lean your heart forward. Come back up nice and slow. A little hip hinge, lean your heart forward. And now see if you can take your hands down to the ground, going just a little bit deeper into that wide leg fold. If that becomes too much, you can always come back up. So go only where it feels the most comfortable. Pause for a moment in your wide leg fold. Can you let your head drop down? Take one more breath. And then start by walking your hands up towards your knees or up towards your inner thighs. Gently bring yourself back up, but we're going to keep that wide leg position. I'm going to pivot myself around, but you stay just as you are. So we're going to take it from that wide leg position, but we're going to also add that Uddiyana Bandha, so that flying up block. So we're going to lean ourselves forward just enough so that we can use our hands for a little bit of leverage. Take an inhalation. Exhale. At the end of your exhale, you're going to suck the belly in, make a nice vacuum suck of your belly so it really hollows out the abdomen best you can. Hold that sucked in belly for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the abdominal muscles, take an inhale, exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in, hold it for a moment. Release nice and slow. Take your inhale, exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in, hold it for a moment. Release nice and slow. And now we're going to take it into some twists. So we're going to think shoulder to knee, rotate just a little bit. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, come through center. Exhale and twist. Inhale through center, exhale to twist. Awesome. One more time each side. And then as you come back through center, toe heel your feet in. Once your feet are back into that about hip width distance apart, elbows come forward, take a couple of lifts and lowers of the feet. Same thing here. We want to go with the same pace going up and same pace going down, nice and slow and controlled. One more up and down, and then we're just going to take a moment. Stay in that forward leaning position. You might choose to keep a slight bit of support in your abdomen just so you're not just feeling like sloppy and lazy in the seat here. So keep sort of a nice tight configuration in the upper body, but we're going to look down at our toes. And you're going to think about your big toes are going to hop in and hop out. So we're just going to try to hop the big toes in and out. Now, if it helps you, if you're like, I can't move my big toes without the other four guys coming along for the ride, you're going to bend forward a little bit more, hold the other four toes in place, and then see, can you hop your big toes side to side? It requires a lot of strength and a lot of focus and concentration. It's a long line. It's a long distance call from your brain down to your toes. So give yourself a little grace. If it feels like your toes don't always work the way that you want them to, feel free to hold those four small toes. If you can not hold the four small toes, that's cool too. Go where the work is available to you and then take a few moments to just see if you can find that. Hop your big toes in, hop your big toes out. One more little hop of those big toes in and out, and then take a second to lift your body weight up away from those knees, wriggle out your toes, wriggle out your ankles, move them in any direction that feels good. Just kind of smoosh them around, work them out. And then we're going to take it into a light little stomp and tap. So we're going to gently tap our feet on the ground. If you've got neighbors beneath you and you don't like them, make it really loud. And if you've got neighbors that you like, make it really soft. All right, now take it up into your toes. Take it to the balls of the feet. Take it to the blade edges of the feet. Take it to the heels. And then let everything come to stillness just for a moment. Take a breath, maybe close your eyes, just notice your feet. Awesome. And then when you're ready, we're going to grab hold of the back of one leg. So we're going to make a little basket weave. Use your arms to do the heavy lifting. Pick that leg up. Let the leg be as loose and heavy in your arms as you can. Draw your leg in circles. Keep the leg as heavy as you can. So your arms are doing all the work here. One more little circle around in this direction and then reverse, go the other way. Same thing here. Leg is super heavy. Arms are doing the work. Nice. One more circle around, and then we're going to pull that leg nice and tight to the chest. Stay nice and upright. And then we're going to do long, slow kicks of that leg. You're going to kick the leg forward just to the point. You're going to hit the edge where you feel a little tugger sensation in the hamstring muscles, the muscles in the back of the thigh. So go right to the edge, and you want to really keep that leg as tight to your heart as you can. You're not trying to straighten your leg. You're trying to feel that tension at the back of the thigh. And then once you found that tension, hang out there for a moment, take a breath, and then slowly, gently, mindfully release. And then we're going to do that again. You're going to slowly start to lift the foot up, keep your thigh as close to your heart as you can, go right to your edge where you can't go any further without doing something extreme or zinging yourself in the back of the knee. And then slowly, gently release. We're going to do that one more time. Keep your thigh nice and close to your heart. Lift your foot nice and slow and controlled. Go right to the edge where you can't go any further without doing something funky. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Take a second to just do a couple of light little swings of that foot, and then release that leg down, and we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to make our basket weave. Pick your leg up. Let your leg be super heavy in your arms. Arms do the heavy lifting. Circle your leg in one direction. Awesome. Circle your leg the other way. Nice. And now pull that thigh nice and tight toward your heart. Keep that nice tight configuration. Slowly and mindfully lift your foot just to the point where you feel that good tension in the back of the thigh. Hang out there for a second. And then just as slow as you lifted, release it back down. Keep your thigh nice and close to your heart. Lift your foot nice and slow. Come right to the edge of that sensation. Hold it for a moment and then gently release. Awesome. Do that one more time. Lift your foot just as high as feels right to you. Hold it for a moment. Slowly, gently, mindfully release. Beautiful. Take a second to just wiggle everything out. Maybe move your foot just a little bit and then set that foot down. Now we're going to go back to our original leg, but now push the foot forward, flex the foot, a little micro bend in the knee, and then think up and over. So we're going to lift up, reach towards your foot. Does not matter if you can touch your foot, but we want to feel that little stress in the back of the leg. Take a nice big breath. Slide your way on up, slip that foot in, and we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to push the foot forward, heel to the ground, toes lifted. Think up and over. Exhale and reach towards your foot. Does not matter if you can touch the foot. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully slide everything back in. We're going to step both feet in and then take it into some nice, generous windshield wipers. Start by swishing your knees a little side to side. And then just depending on how your chair helps you move, if your chair is nice and slippy like mine, it might feel really fluid to start to pivot into some bigger action. But if your chair is a little sticky, or if it's got like a cushion, you might have to like do a little bit of a hoppier glute to find that bigger maneuver. One more pivot each way, and then we're going to pause as we pivot to the left. So the right knee is going to be dropped down, knees over to the left, and then we're going to take our hand to that front pocket and we're going to push the pocket forward and back. So we're going to keep our hips as square as we can. You're going to think, pull the front pocket back, push the front pocket forward, take a couple little forward and back. One more forward and back. And then just to finish on this side, we're going to let that hip drop down, lean over the back side of your chair, take a nice big side bend. Lift and release out of that big side bend. And then we're going to pivot all the way around to the other side. So you might do that glute hop, pick yourself up, get yourself arranged so that it makes the most sense to you. Hand to that front pocket. And now we're moving that front pocket forward and back. Nice. One more forward and back with that front pocket. And then as you come through center, let the hip drop down, release your hand from your hip, lean over into the back of the chair, take that nice big side bend. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly, mindfully release. As we pivot back around, we're going to scooch our butt back. So we're kind of starting to find our way into that more relaxed position, but still stay slightly upright. Take a couple of gentle nods of the head up and down. One more little nod of the head up and down. And then as your head comes to center or neutral, turn your head side to side like you're looking over your shoulder. One more turn of the head side to side. And then we're going to bring our head back to center, and we're going to do the closed mouth, tongue around the inside of the lips. So get yourself in a seat that you feel pretty comfortable in. You don't have to focus too much on what your body's doing. You're going to try to keep your mouth closed. You're going to use your tongue. And you're going to draw your tongue in circles around the inside of your mouth. So you're going to, best of your ability, keep your mouth closed, maybe even close your eyes down so you don't have to worry about what your face looks like, just what it feels like. So it should feel like your tongue is working, and it should feel like your mouth, your lips, and your cheeks are working a little bit. If you're going in one particular direction, see now, can you reverse and go the other way? One or two more circles around, just depending on what pace you're going. And then when you're ready, release and just take a second to kind of mush your mouth around like you're, do that little sandwich bite. And then when you feel ready, once you've kind of worked that stuff out, released any tension that you may have been holding on to there, start to sit your back into your chair. Just allow yourself to kind of soften and settle in. Maybe even allow a moment here to let your eyes close down if that feels good. Eyes can just focus on a point on the ground, so you don't have to keep your eyes closed down if that feels more available to keep them open. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, or if your morning requires it, start to gently reawaken. Maybe wiggle your fingers, maybe wiggle your toes. Maybe invite a slightly deeper breath back into your body. Maybe move your wrists, maybe move your ankles, any light and gentle movement here that just allows you to come back into your body in a really nice, loving way. And then when you feel ready, we're just going to lift our back away from our seat. Keep your eyes closed, or just focus your eyes on a single point, and then start to walk yourself forward in your chair so that your butt feels solid on the chair, feet feel nice and solid on the ground. And then once you're there, maybe you open up your eyes. We're going to do, rather than brushing down the side of the body, we're going to do 3 vigorous brushes up towards the armpit, and then we're going to pat out the armpit. So get your handhold near your hip and then brush up to the armpit, brush up to the armpit, brush up to the armpit, and then this time just a couple of good smacks around the armpit. One more good smack around the armpit, and then we're going to take it over to the other side. So 3 brushes up to the armpit. Nice. And then once you've got 3 good brushes up the armpit, pat, pat, pat around the armpit. Beautiful. One more pat, pat, pat around the armpit. And then we're going to take our thumbs, like we're hitching up our overall thumbs into the armpits. Lift your armpit chest just a little bit. And then we're going to do little squeezy pumps. So you're going to, almost as if you're trying to squeeze your thumbs into your armpits, use your elbows to kind of get that sensation of drawing down, get that little squeeze. One more little pump and squeeze, and then keep your thumbs into your armpits, but draw little micro circles with your elbows, just kind of circling in one direction. Awesome. And then circle the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, release your hands to Anjali Mudra or prayer hands to heart center and bow your head to your heart. Just for a moment here as you breathe in and out, see if you can just notice and feel the movement of breath in your armpit area. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Breathe in a little extra love and gratitude. Hold on to it for a minute. And then as you release, you're going to step your arms up and overhead, step your legs out nice and long. And then as you exhale, think about releasing all that love and care out into the world. And then release slowly, gently, mindfully. Take a second to wriggle out anything that you need to. You are amazing. Happy, happy Wednesday.